Once your integrity comes into question, it's very difficult for you to get anybody to trust you. Hi, I'm James, and this is my take on reality. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Yara and her tomfoolery in Prague trying to get this apartment. Now, before we get into it, I would ask that if you're not subscribed to the channel, that you consider subscribing. It really helps the channel out, it helps me out, and hey, who doesn't want to help a brother out? So hit that HBO special down below, I'd really appreciate it. And for those of you who have already subscribed, thank you. And if you want to continue to support the channel, you can easily do it by hitting that thumbs up button and letting me know that you enjoy the content and you're enjoying the videos. Thanks. Now let's get it. Now off the rip, we have to talk about how Jovi and his mom approach marriage and how Yara and her mom approach marriage. Now, Jovi and his mom typically have more of a traditional type feeling or sentiment towards how marriage should work, meaning that the men and women, the husband and wife should work together as a unit. They should try to move forward as a unit, and they should try to build together. Everything that they do together. So for better or for worse, richer or poorer, sickness and in health, you move forward together. Yara, on the other hand, has a completely different experience. For her, marriage is something that you have to be a little leery of. Husbands are something that you have to be very careful of, because at any moment, because of what happened with Yara's father and her mom, any moment, the husband could come home, change his mind, and rip the rug out from underneath the wife and destroy the children's lives, destroy the wife's life. So you always have to be suspect, and you should always put money aside. Now, in fairness, I don't disagree that you could have a foot in kind of both worlds, if you will. You can work together as a unit. You can move together as one entity towards a common goal. At the same time, you can both have your own separate bank accounts. He could have his money coming in, she could have her money coming in, and as long as you both understand that you're using those funds to work together, it shouldn't be a problem. When he doesn't have it, she could have it. When she doesn't have it, he could have it, and they could help each other. Now, there's nothing wrong with that if everybody is being honest and everybody is being trustworthy and everybody is showing integrity. The problem I have with Yara's whole approach to this Prague thing, as well as some of the things that we've seen previously, is that I'm not quite sure where Yara is. Now, I'm going to give a clear disclaimer that I think that with Jovi and his drinking and his issues with drinking, or at least the way it's presented on the show, that there might be an issue there. I think that Yara would be foolish if she just 100% relied on him, because of the fact that everything he has could be taken away if he messes up and goes out and have a good time while he's at work and he crashes something or somebody gets hurt. They could lose everything that way. So she's not wrong necessarily for trying to maintain and keep her own business or whatever afloat so that she has moneyed interest and she can maybe protect herself. I understand that. But with that being said, there's a recurring thing that Jovi always says about Yara, where she's always being influenced by somebody else. Oh, when she was home and she was coming home talking about boob jobs, and she was trying to stay out late and she was trying to get sexy and she was talking about going on trips and this, that, and other, and she was trying to stick Milo with Miss Gwen, his mom, who ain't nobody's nanny. There was a point where Jovi had said that, oh, Yara is just being influenced by these young ladies. Then when she gets to Prague, Jovi says, oh, Yara is being influenced by her mom. See, part of that issue is that ultimately what Jovi is demonstrating is that he doesn't respect Yara. See, if you respect Yara, you're trying to protect her by creating excuses for her. And you're saying that Yara wouldn't do this, or she wouldn't have these ill thoughts, or she wouldn't be sneaky or conniving. It must be somebody else. Me, I respect people. So if I'm dealing with a woman, I respect you enough to know nobody is steering your ship, nobody is driving your car. You are the captain of your own ship. So if you do something wrong, you're doing something wrong because you choose to do something wrong. Not because somebody came and influenced you or tricked you or convinced you to do something that you normally wouldn't do. This is who you are, and this is what you're about. So you're just merely doing you. And it's up to me, for me to see you when you present who you are. In Jovi's case, this is where he's kind of missing the ball. There's something going on that you're just not seeing. Either Yara is supremely not happy in your situation and she's looking for a way out, or you about to get ripped off. That also speaks widely to the fact that Jovi thinks that he can control Yara's actions. And that's why he thinks that somebody else is influencing her or taking over his position. Jovi himself thinks that he's actually controlling Yara. Bruh, you're not controlling Yara. I agree with her when she says that she does what she wants to do. I disagree with her when she says that she's honest and she just speaks her mind, because clearly that's not the case, because there was a whole bunch of stuff that was going on that Jovi had no idea about and that she was going to do. And when she kind of got backed into a corner, she had to reveal it. And this kind of brings in my next point. Now, here's where I'm going to lay my case out and why I think something more is going on. And again, if you think that I'm right, I want you to give me a 1. If you disagree with my assessment, or maybe you think I'm overreaching, just slide a 2 in there. It's fine. Nobody's mad. I'm just curious as to what you guys think, and these are the thoughts running through my mind as I watch the show. The first thing, Yara had made it a point to say that her mom had been sending her properties to move to Prague for a few months prior. That means that the time that she had started sending her ads and advertisements for her to be able to get a property or an apartment in Prague was well before the invasion and the incursion by the Russians. So it wasn't because all of a sudden this is happening and there's trouble in Europe that I have to get back home. She was trying to get her to come home well before anything happened, which also indicates that somebody doesn't start sending you leaflets or brochures about apartments unless they already started having that conversation. So she had previously started talking to her well before she started sending her apartment listings. The second thing, did anybody else notice that Yara was desperate to get back to Europe without Jovi? One of the things that I noticed was when Jovi had questioned her about going out with her friends to celebrate her getting her green card, she said, "I'm not going out to have fun. My people are at war, Jovi. I'm going out. I'm very sad. I'm just going out to talk about that. Why can't your husband go? If that's something that you want to talk about, why can't he go? But you wanted to go out by yourself." Then when you got the card and you were talking about going back to Europe, Jovi couldn't go. And you were dead set that Jovi couldn't go. But then when you waited around for Jovi to go, because that would have created a big problem and an argument, and I'll give a tie into that in a little bit. When Jovi got home, the two of you get on a plane, you go out to the Ukraine, and when the mom gave a huge hint when she sat in the car and said, "Oh, does Jovi speak Russian?" Because that's not their native language. Does Jovi speak this other language? Assuming that Jovi would have taken the time to learn the language, bro, you should have taken the time to learn the language. It would have helped you. But Jovi didn't take the time to learn the language. So does Jovi speak Russian? Oh, no, he doesn't speak Russian. And the mom proceeded to talk to Yara about Jovi and about moving to Europe behind Jovi's back in front of Jovi's face. Crazy. And that shows the integrity of the person that he's dealing with as far as Yara's mom. She is not on your side, bruh. And technically, I'm kind of suspecting that she might not even be on Yara's side fully. The next day shows up. All of a sudden, they're going to go apartment shopping. They're going to go looking at apartments. Yara wasn't going to tell Jovi that she was going for an apartment. She was going to go do it by herself. And this is just something that she was going to do. But she let Jovi know, hey, by the way, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go apartment shopping and just go look around. It's no big deal. Jovi says, I want to go. So Jovi gets in the car. He drives them over to the apartment. They look at the apartment. They walk down, they look through it. It's not big like they want. Jovi asked, well, how much were you planning to spend? She said, about $100,000. It's my money. I don't understand why there's a problem. I got $100K that I could put on a property. It's my business. Why are you asking all these questions? Jovi says, okay, fine. They go see an apartment that's about $150. It's not even like a studio or whatever. It's like a basement room almost. They have like a little room area where it's supposed to be the living room and the bedroom, and they were supposed to be getting 3 rooms, and it was a whole kerfuffle and craziness. And Jovi's sitting there laughing, proud of himself, not realizing, bro, you're getting played. You hear that, man? That would be a wake-up call. You're getting played. Because, like I said, her mom had been sending her pictures of properties for months. You're telling me that the mom never asked about the prices of these apartments? Yara never said, hey, mom, this is a nice apartment. How much is something like that? Just out of curiosity, I would ask that question. Wow, that's beautiful. How much is this? Yara knows how much these apartments are. The mom knows how much these apartments are. You got snookered. She probably told the lady, take me to something that's about 100,000. And the lady found something the closest thing she could get to 100,000, and just didn't meet par. But she was planning. They know what they're looking for. And the fact that they weren't going to take you should be a huge red flag. The fact that the mom wants to move in, so that's the reason why they want a 3-bedroom. The mom wants her room, Yara has her room, and Mila has her own room. So that's 3 bedrooms. But wait a minute. I thought Yara's family was coming from the Ukraine to spend time in Prague as refugees. Most likely, they're not going to have any money. Where are they staying? Are they moving in with you? Is Yara going to be paying for that? And when the realtor was showing the place, did you see Yara's face? When she said 100,000, 150, oh, how much is a 3-bedroom? 300, 350,000. Did you see Yara's face? Yara got that money. You know who may have that money? Jovi may have the money. And Jovi most likely was going to be the one paying for that apartment. Something that I hadn't considered during the time of taping is another possible source of where Yara was going to get this money from. And that would be her friend Adele. You know, her friend Adele, who is in the import-export business and just recently came to the attention of authorities, that Adele, maybe the reason why she took such interest in Yara's returning to Europe was because it was a business interest and not necessarily a friendly interest. We also can't overlook the fact that Yara's mom has been living in Prague for years. So we're to believe that Yara's mom, who has lived in Prague for years, had no idea how much apartments cost in Prague, even though she lived there for years. Even though Yara's mom had been actively looking for and searching for apartments for Yara to purchase in Prague, she had zero idea how much these properties were worth and how much they cost, and what the amenities were, so on and so forth. This was the first apartment they would happen to stumble on, and it was just completely ridiculous and outrageous, and everybody's surprised. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I think something more malevolent is going on, and Jovi is just failing to realize it because he's covering it or coloring it with the idea that Yara is this innocent tulip who's just walking around the earth and not causing any problems. But he needs to take a closer look at his wife. As far as the mom is concerned, I got a really shaky feeling about the mom because the way things are kind of coming off, it seems as though the mom is looking out for herself. She presents it as, oh, Yara, I can move in with you and I can help with Mila and I can take care of Mila and you can go take care of yourself. You can take care of, your friends. Oh yeah, you can spend time with your husband if that's important to you. But it's very shaky and it's very shady the way the mom is approaching things. She called her integrity into question when she said that she wanted to speak a different language, and she purposefully spoke a different language to her daughter, hoping that Jovi wouldn't understand it while Jovi was sitting there. Now, if you agree with my assessment, I would ask that you put a 1. If you disagree with my assessment, put a 2. We're going to do a loose poll so everybody can see what everybody else is thinking. My name is James. This has been my take on reality, and I'm out. 'Cause I've been living